Interesting, the little gray star behind the yellow star, huh? That is not police. That is a security guard with a police word on the side of the freaking vehicle saying they're police. They're not police. Security guard. So I'm making this video real quick because I have come to the conclusion that there's no way in hell that the people of this country, or at least enough of a percentage of the people in this country, the United States, are critical thinkers or empathetic beings that have the ability to care about their fellow man on this planet. Nobody uh, in the general public, mostly poor people, are the ones, people like myself that have been abused by the system. By far, the real truth community in this country, and it's probably the same case in other countries, especially Western nations. Most of the people that are actually um, aware of the incredibly disgusting uh, crimes against humanity, and the most disgusting criminal activity you can imagine, uh, that's being done by governments like the United States federal government, as well as the state governments in the state capitals in all the states, um, and even down to small towns like the one I'm in. Uh, it's all completely criminal and disgusting. And I've come to the conclusion that uh, the plans that I believe I have seen plenty of proof of for depopulation of the especially the Western nations because of the debt. See, the global banking families uh, don't really want to keep huge populations of people around that are in countries that have basically run the cycle of the fiat currency and have gotten to the point to where their country is in such debt that there's no chance that it could ever be paid, and they're fixing to bring in a completely new monetary system anyway, um, digital currency, CBDC, whatever. Um, but I've come to the conclusion that, considering all of the stuff that I'm aware of after 8 years of researching uh, the corruption and criminal activities of the governments of the United States and other countries over in Europe and whatnot, and not just the West, but other countries are involved in the same type of criminal activity, and are actually connected to the intelligence agencies and the militaries of the Western nations, and they all work together. It's basically kind of like the mob has taken over governments, which is really not the case, but you may as well look at it that way because that's the basic effect that we see in reality. So But the point I'm trying to get to is that if you have a society like you have here in the United States, where you've had 30 to 60 years of whistleblowers. I mean, I could stand here and name off the whistleblowers, I'm not going to. A lot of them are in my playlist categories uh, on my channel. So if you if you actually have any sense of morality or empathy for your fellow man left, uh, you know, go watch the videos in my playlist. But I've come to the conclusion that if if you have the obvious, proven, documented, uh, egregious, horrible, disgusting, the worst crimes that you can imagine that are being done by your own governments in the United States and other nations around the world, if that information is so well documented and has been out there from whistleblower to whistleblower, from congressional document to congressional document, from local newspaper article to local newspaper article through the last 30 to 60, 70 years, and you're not willing to uh, to stand up and demand that that government that's performing all of these crimes and protecting all of these crimes. I mean, right now you got the federal government and the state governments know full well that the military and the mob and the intelligence agencies and whatnot are working together to traffic children as sex toys for the elites. They know this and they're covering it up. There's absolutely, and that's just one particular thing, okay? There's a whole bunch more to add to it. I mean, the obvious genocide that's going on in Gaza, the fact that, the current administration and the United States government, just like it always does, is always willing to make money for the military contractors that make the bombs and stuff, so that, you know, 70% of the death in Gaza has been women and children. They're literally blowing children and women to pieces. That's reality. So, just to conclude this video and get my point out, finally, sorry. If a society is so narcissistic and so self absorbed that they turn a blind eye to all of the evidence that they're being ruled over by psychopaths, murderous, bloodthirsty, uh, oftentimes pedophile psychopaths, and whether they're pedophiles or not, there's people that aren't pedophiles that are making money off of the children being trafficked around the world. If that society if, will not revolt and completely dismantle and remove the existing government system and tear it down, then those people probably deserve to be depopulated. It's kind of ironic that the global banking families and these bloodline families over in Switzerland and Rome and England, and many of them are in DC because they work within their family when they can, but even that's not enough. They need to blackmail their own family members as well. A lot of them are kind of distant, out on the end of the family tree limb, way out there, but still they're kin to them, like Trump and Musk. But yeah, you know, I've come to the conclusion that the vast majority of Americans are disgusting, selfish pigs that probably deserve to be depopulated. So that's my point of this video. So I know nobody's going to see it, just like nobody's watched the last couple of videos hardly. So doesn't matter. I'm glad that I'm able to document my thoughts and just put it out there on the on the airwaves.